are enough to be great. Your destiny is already written in the stars. Everyone in this room has a gift that makes you special. Your desires and your dreams, they belong to you for a reason. You are uniquely and wonderfully made. Tonight, during our conversation, I want to inspire you. I want to leave you with 3 key ideas that you can use to bring your dreams into reality and for you to stay sustainable. As I was preparing for this evening, I ran across this quote. The purpose to share your dreams with the world is a gift that you have. And once you have this gift and you know how you want to show up in the world, you're going to be able to support others and live through their dreams. Finding purpose. Purpose is an easy word to say, but often a hard thing to find. As I was growing up, I always didn't know my purpose. I'm pretty sure my parents will tell you I made them a little nervous from time to time because I didn't quite know what I wanted to do. But I knew a few things. I knew that I loved people. I enjoyed people. I enjoyed just talking to them and getting to know them. I enjoyed people so much that I often got in trouble in class for talking too much. But my teacher just didn't understand I was getting to know the people. That's what I was doing. And so I was getting to know people and building these connections and relationships. I ran across this movie, Sister Act 2, as you see this still up here. My father loved to rent movies every Friday evening. And so this was one of the movies he rented for us. And in this movie, I really just loved how Whoopi, who played the teacher, was able to connect with students. And she was able to give them a purpose. She was able to help them understand what their passion was all about. And in this movie, there's a scene that really stuck out to me. And I have this up here for you to see. I'm going to paraphrase the scene. The scene is Whoopi's talking to Lauryn Hill, saying, hey, when I was your age, my mother gave me a book called Letters to a Young Poet. And in this book, this guy is writing to the author saying, I want to be a writer. I want to be a writer. Man, publish my stuff. I want to be a writer. And the author writes back and says, don't ask me about being a writer. Because if the first thing you think about every morning is writing, you're supposed to be a writer. So then Whoopi turns and looks at Lauryn and says the same thing to her. Don't ask me about being a singer. Because if the first thing you think about every morning is singing, you're supposed to be a singer. So that moment in the movie stood out to me. And it made me ask myself, what do I think about? What do I want to be? Where am I going? And so as I'm going to ask you guys the same question, give you a minute to think about it, because I'm a teacher, so I got to give that moment. What is it that you think about? What inspires you? What is your inner voice saying to you over and over again? What is that thought that won't leave you alone? And once you know what that thought is, that's what you're supposed to be doing. That's your purpose. For me, it was education. I love being an educator. When I wake up every morning, the first thing I think about, how can I make a school better? How can I make a principal better? How can I make teachers better? How can I connect with students? Because that is what sits with me. That's what my purpose is. So in finding that purpose, it gives you freedom. So as we keep moving on, I want to leave these 3 key ideas with you to maintain your passion. Because I've been in education for almost 16 years. And to stay sustainable, you have to be able to connect. The first key is add value to humanity. It is our job and our duty to make this world a better place. How are you caring for others? When I walk into a building, I get very excited when principals look at me and they're like, yes, she's here. Because they know I care for them and I'm going to connect with them. And whatever that problem is, I'm going to help them move it forward. Also, how are you adding value to humanity? It is our goal to leave a legacy of love, to make sure that we are pouring into one another and creating safe spaces. So that's key 1. Key 2, lifelong learner. It's so important that you're always learning and moving forward. For me, I went back to school and obtained a master's degree in curriculum and instruction because it was so important for me to be at the front of change so that when I show up and I'm supporting teachers and students, that they know I'm taking my education seriously. And then researching new ideas. I believe firmly in college and career readiness. I believe in it so much that every summer I work with educators across America, working with teachers as young as pre-K to make sure that they're setting their students up for success. Key 3, cultivating joy. Joy is so important. You have to love what you do. Love it so much that you would do it for free. Yes, I did say free. Yes, I did, free. Because once you understand that and you connect with that and you love what you do so much, it doesn't feel like work anymore. You're actually walking in your purpose. I felt this joy back when I was in high school. I was in a class where we were able to leave school and go work with elementary students. So I was working with this elementary student and we were working on reading. I love reading. So I would walk in and he would grab his book bag, and at first I could tell he didn't like reading because as soon as he grabbed that book bag, he kind of looked at me like, really, lady, we about to do this? And I'm like, yes, we're about to do this. And so as he grabbed his book bag and we sat out in the hallway, I would read with him and he would read with me, and we would just have this back and forth. And at first he wasn't feeling it, but towards the end of the semester, he said, Miss Hawkins, I got something for you. I said, what you got for me? He said, I just want you to sit back. I just want you to hear something. I said, okay, I'm sit back, I'm listening. And he opened up his book and he began to read all on his own. And this young Black boy, just that alone gave him freedom for life, gave him everything he needed in that moment. And that gave me this feeling and joy that I became addicted to. I loved it so much. I went home and I found my mom. I said, Mama, I know what I want to do with my life. And she looked at me and she was like, finally. I was like, no, I really do. I know exactly what I want to do. I want to be a teacher. I want to be an educator. I want to inspire the youth. And that gave me so much joy. So now I'm leaving you with an assignment. These keys that I just gave you will assist you in creating and manifesting and maintaining greatness because you were born to do so. It is your gift, your right, and your responsibility to share it with the world. So before I leave you, I want you to repeat after me because I'm a teacher, so you know I'm gonna involve y'all. So you ready? We're gonna say, I am enough to be great. Thank you.